This weekend saw the much anticipated debuts of two Japanese pitchers, Kodai Senga and Shintaro Fujinami. But which Japanese pitcher among a list of five, including those two, had the best major league debut?
That's what we're going to be talking about today, folks, here on the Baseball Brewhaha. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron. That's my identical twin brother, Adam. We're having a cup of coffee, enjoying some more trivia for breakfast. We're putting our knowledge to the test. So we're talking Japanese pitchers today. There have been a lot of good ones. And Adam, what we got in store?
So in store for us today, so we've got five pitchers to choose from. Which Japanese pitcher had the best debut? So we have Hideo Nomo against the 95 Giants. Darvish, 2012 against the Mariners. Shohei Ohtani, 2018 against the A's. And then Fujinami this year on Saturday, April 1st against the Angels. And Kodai Senga Sunday, April 2nd against the Marlins. So we're defining best debut as according to their fielding independent pitching stats, which tries to isolate their pitching performance from defensive metrics that might influence the outcome of a pitcher's day. So it's heavily weighted on home runs, walks, and strikeouts, as well as innings pitched.
Okay.
So what do you think?
What do I think? Okay. So this is interesting looking at this list because I know the only guy on here I'm thinking that I didn't really think about or didn't pay attention to was Shintaro. I think he got the Angels got shelled a bit on Saturday. So, or the A's rather got beat up pretty good on Saturday. So I feel like it's not him. Senga threw well. I feel like these other guys had actually pretty good debuts. I'm actually going to go way back. I'm going to go Nomo. He was real tough in his first year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he won Rookie of the Year in his first year. I could be wrong about that. But so I'm going to go way back, 1995, going Hideo Nomo.
Yeah, one of the first Japanese players, certainly one of the first sort of superstar Japanese players. I went on the other end of the spectrum. I went newest pitcher, Kodai Senga, for a couple of reasons. One being that he is good, and he's pitching against the Marlins, who are not good.
Yeah.
So I went Senga here.
Okay.
So with that in mind, you got Nomo, I got Senga. Our correct answer is Senga.
Kodai Senga, yeah, he pitched a really nice game. So yeah, it's not surprising. I mean, I don't know if you have more data, but I feel like all these guys had pretty decent debuts. So
some better than others. Fujinami was the only one that was not good.
Yeah, didn't they lose that like 12-3 or 12-1?
It was like 13-1, I think. He lasted 2.1 innings. Had 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He actually was third on this list. So Senga had the best FIP, which, you know, like what you're factoring out things like ERA and that kind of thing because defense makes such a difference and other factors. But Senga had the best, the lowest FIP at 1.73. 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, 5.1 innings pitched. Nomo was second on the list. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, 5 innings. The worst debut in terms of FIP was Darvish against the Mariners. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, 5.2 innings.
Okay, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
No. So, and Shohei Ohtani was fourth. His actually dipped because he gave up a home run. A home run is a big
black mark against the old.
It is.
Okay.
It sure is. Yeah, Yeah, and Nomo, he didn't take the loss, but the Dodgers lost his debut 4-3 in the 15th inning, and
Okay.
then Fujinami lost 13-1.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, this is the number of pitchers. Like, so you just think of other pitchers that like Hideo Nomo really started this run of Japanese pitchers in particular. So I think of other guys that have come down the line that weren't on this list, guys like Hideki Arabu, who was pretty mediocre, Daisuke Matsusaka, who really certainly earlier in his career was good, Masahiro Tanaka for the Yankees had some really good seasons. So these guys have come over and had some success. Some guys who have not had some success would be who's yeah, the Mariners lefty. I just spaced his name.
Uh, Kikuchi.
Kikuchi.
Yeah,
Kikuchi. Yeah, he really struggled with the transition. But it's been pretty remarkable seeing a lot of these guys make a transition, and a lot of them using a lot of these guys have really flourished on the back of a forkball. So it makes me wonder if Kikuchi and other guys' lack of a good forkball has kind of done them in. So
yeah. Well, apparently Senga has the ghost forkball or the ghost split, one of the best. And he had a great game against the Marlins, so it'll be exciting to see where his career goes. Of course, Ohtani, I mean, he's the man right now.
yeah,
Pitching, hitting, doing it all.
he had a home run tonight, two games in a row. So this guy,
Wow.
he's something to watch, man. So I mean, I know most of you probably tuning in here are familiar with Shohei Ohtani. You got to tune into games where he's playing anytime he can. He's there's not going to be. I mean, some people think that you're going to see other people try to do pitching and hitting. I don't think it's gonna. It's not going to look like this. Um, I don't see it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's sort of I mean, I think it could happen again at some point, but it's sort of a once in a generation sort of a thing. I mean, the
Yeah.
last time anyone really did it successfully was Babe Ruth, and that's maybe a couple generations since that happened. So
Yeah, and even Ruth was not really. It was a little different scenario. He was a great pitcher, but once they said they didn't have the designated hitter at the time, so you know um, in order to get him in the lineup, I mean they basically said we want your bat in the lineup every day, so you're going to play outfield, and so he stopped pitching effectively, and so it's similar, but it's not the same because he wasn't pitching really. He wasn't really pitching and hitting at the same time for the bulk of his career. So, um, well, we look forward to more Japanese pitchers. I know these guys aren't going to be the last along the way, and so we'll see what comes. But thanks for bringing us the question. Everybody, drop your comments below. We'd love to if you have something that's burning and you want a question about it, drop it in the comments below. Subscribe, like, join us. We'll be back tomorrow. More coffee, more trivia for breakfast. We'll see you then.